La cigogne.
Hello Seawolves and welcome back to the show. What a flashy intro there on board with Antoine Cornac. Doing good speeds there, sailing along nicely, so very good to see. So to start the show, I hope that you have something delicious in your possibly see. By now I expect it kind of to be a Seawolf mug actually, to be quite honest with you. If you're still watching, you should be having this at home. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, cheers wolves.
Ok, 1, 2, 3, partez. Eh ben, aujourd'hui, je vais vous montrer une image qu'on n'a pas vue depuis longtemps. On fait le contournement d'un centre dépressionnaire par le nord. Et donc voilà, clac, clac, clac. Et voilà. Et voilà. On est sous spi, messieurs et mesdames. Avec un petit oiseau là. On est, depuis ce matin, il y a des oiseaux partout.
Yeah, a little onboard there with Leroy Jean, and he's doing very well also. And he actually, Jean made a bit of split with Issabelle Jochske, so they're no longer sailing together, meaning Jean has made a different tactical choice. We'll get into that in the technical analysis in a minute here, but good to know that we're going to be talking about that. Another thing which I thought was a little bit cool to show you, one of the questions that you guys asked in the first Q&A, so the actual Q&A is tomorrow and not today because I have a bit shorter to film today. But one of the first questions you guys asked was how do they feed themselves, and I kind of told you the whole story about like how to make week bags, and then inside the week bag there's like 7-day bags and the whole sort of how it all works. And today Eric Bellon actually filmed his Christmas day bag, so you guys can see what it actually looks like.
Toutes les semaines, j'ai un sac comme ça. Et alors celui-là, il est vraiment différent des autres. Je l'ai repéré depuis longtemps parce que déjà je me les transporte tous. J'ouvre. Ah, il y a plein de choses. Oh là là. Oh, j'ai... C'est pas pour tout de suite. Hein. Il y a de quoi tenir le coup. Du gaz. Alors tout à chaque fois. Il y a ça, il y a des petites surprises. Alors j'ai eu pour l'instant des bonbons, de quoi manger. Alors j'ai eu un Tamagotchi qui est quand même le pire cadeau qu'on puisse donner. J'ai eu aussi, alors ça j'adore, regardez, il est sur ma table de travail. Les 100 blagues du pourquoi, ça c'est excellent. Et là, alors on va regarder ensemble.
Cool, huh? So that's literally exactly the same. They're kind of like a standard bag that we had, and yeah, so you can see that his like family or friends obviously put like a bunch of surprises in there for Christmas. So it's just this great source of happiness every day when you're like opening in the morning the bag and seeing what you put in there, especially kind of on the significant moments like Christmas or after the first 2 weeks or things like that. It's a great way to motivate yourself on a big solo trip like that, and so that is literally what it looks like. Nice, huh? Then I got a little update from Conrad Coleman again.
Busy night, swapping the spinnaker for the Jenica, because it's too light for the spinnaker now. But just look at the sunrise. Man, this is beautiful.
Yeah, so like I said yesterday, he's kind of stuck in that patch with like very low wind. We'll get into that in the technical analysis as well. And yeah, so he actually moved to his biggest sail now, the Jenica, in order to still keep some speed. But at the same time, that means that right now he's probably working away on that autopilot and doing some small fixes, because that is something that you have time for when the wind is not so strong. Okay, let's jump into the technical analysis here, because we have had another lead change. Johan Richaume once again overtaken by Mr. Charlie Dalin. As you can see here, the distance is like minuscule, and it's more a effect of position, that Jan took a little bit more of a northern route than Charlie, but technically speaking, Charlie right now ahead. Obviously, if we look at the routeages, they're all going to be moving down. So, oh, wait a minute, I have to select them though. Yeah, let's select Yom here. So you can see that because the wind kind of really bending with the land here, that will it's not that they're too high and then have to make a jibe or anything. If we fast forward here, you see that they can just sort of make a bend. And I think one of the reasons why Johan did that is sort of when you sail a little bit more upwind, you can just get a little bit more speed out of it, you know, in order to kind of stay ahead of Charlie, who's obviously been very fast too. And although yesterday the model was predicting that Johan would come out in front, which also, if you look at the specs of the boat that I've talked about now for 3 days in a row, Johan sort of should have won this particular part of the race. However, it looks like, at least the model right now, saying that not only, you know, is Charlie currently, you know, ever so slightly in the actual lead, the model is also saying that Charlie will come out now again ahead. So yeah, testimony to his sailing skill there, as they were in the weather here was very kind of homogeneous that they had now, so it was really down to, you know, skipper stuff. And in that sense, amazing that he was able to, you know, win out there despite the, you know, theoretically small handicap as far as his hardware goes. And yeah, the chance now quite big so that Charlie comes out of that ahead. And that also, yeah, like of course, it's still a long race. Lots of things can happen. People can get unlucky, especially in the doldrums area. But yeah, it is quite, for me, quite significant. Like if Charlie actually comes out ahead already at the Cape, then he does have like definitely the advantage, at least up until the doldrums there. So I would expect him to maybe like build out that lead, perhaps quite significantly again, all the way to the doldrums. And there, well, it's anybody's guess what is going to happen there. So Sebastian still doing very well. I talked about yesterday like how this kind of much heavier weather is going to be, you know, hitting him pretty much exactly as he goes to the Cape. So he's going to get some big seas. Then we see the situation here, sort of with the group led by Thomas Rouillant. Thomas making a bit of extra distance actually, so he is running ahead of Jeremy Bijou a little bit here, so that's kind of cool for him to see, also a bit, you know, showing his own skill there. Of course, yesterday the prediction saying that all of them would head like significantly up in preparation of this sort of you know, low wind zone that you can see it's starting to develop now on top here. I'm still not entirely convinced that that's what they would do, but we can give it a quick look-see. So yeah, the model is still, it's already a bit lower, but it's still predicting that that some of the front guys have to kind of sail north a little bit. I really doubt that they will do that. I seriously doubt that they will actually do that. But yeah, I think they'll just take the shorter route and take the slower winds. Since I already said that, like once they take that longer route and come back together, you can see it here in the model, they're even closer. So yesterday, Boris and Palmelot were sort of like still quite behind, but now it looks like they'd end up like, you know, very, very close to both Chirel and Nicolas Leuven, even closer in the model than yesterday. So yeah, so far that whole trip north doesn't seem like a great detour, but we'll see what the skippers actually decide to do. Then, Clarice, Samantha Davis still sailing away nicely. They're a bit in the lighter winds. Like I said, that's going to improve, and they're going to slowly kind of beautifully make their way here past the ice zone. Nothing really changed there. Then the situation with Jean Le Cam, as you can see, so yesterday they were quite close. They were kind of, well, we can rewind here. Do have to select him, otherwise it doesn't work. Yeah, so yesterday they were quite close, as you can see here. And we all know that Jean is the king of splits, right? So whenever he decides to just take a completely different route from somebody else that he's kind of competing against, there's usually a purpose to that. And we see that he made the decision here with Issabelle, you know, going north, but he chose to go more south for a little bit, kind of skirting that high pressure area and then going up a little bit later. And so he's here now, quite split off. So yeah, the predictive model is saying that he'll go on a kind of a longer line now in order to try to get in front. Then we're like 2 days ahead, so I don't know how this whole situation will develop. But it is interesting to see that he's taking kind of a different route again, you know, trying something completely different scores-wise, not sticking to Issabelle in that sense, but kind of doing his own thing. So we'll see what the result there will be. Distance to Giancarlo Pedotta, a little bit smaller. Alan Rora fell back quite a bit, so now he's in the wind again, but he was kind of stuck in this low wind area there yesterday. Now he's moving again, but you can see that the distance has grown quite a bit over that time. Then we see Conrad, so very much in the low wind, and we see more or less this whole group. They are quite literally bopping around like corks, as they say. I see Violet the Range doing here 0.8 knots and a speed of, well, an average speed over the last 4 hours of 4.3 knots, so that's not very good. And then Benjamin Ferré, similar, 5 knots over the last 4 hours and 3.4 over the last 24 hours. Same for Tanguy, he's been doing 4.5 over the last 24 hours, so that is really bad. And you can also see that their direction is, they're basically, you know, the wind is so low that they're not really in control of where they're pointing. So that is pretty bad, and that's I guess why Conrad chose, he told us right 2 days ago, that he would take a much more northern route to see if he could avoid this. So hopefully this little bit of wind here more on top will enable him to get over there. Let's see though what the, oh yeah, so this system is going to be going lower, so that should give Conrad at least a way to kind of hop over the guys there that are kind of stuck in that weather below. So that's kind of interesting. Conrad, by the way, passing Tasmania today. So last chance for the Aussies to get him on his controversial statements. He's not going to get any closer to land if you wanted to. And then, of course, Toot Good, nicely past the Cape. He's in some more wind again, so that's nice to see. Antoine Cornac, so we started the show on board with him. He's also nicely, speedily sailing along, his mainsail in great condition again, so all good there. Xinjin Zhu, he's almost on Cape Le Wind. I think that later today, probably by the time that we go live, because I'm taping a little bit earlier than usual today, he's going to be passing the Cape, so that's super cool to see. And then, of course, Menio Cosin and Fabrice Amadeo. Also, I think maybe late at night today, they could get to Cape Le Wind. And Dennis van Wijnberg probably, yeah, maybe on the start of tomorrow, somewhere in the first 10 hours, he will get there. And then the entire fleet is past Cape Lewin, so another milestone reached there. Okay, I guess that was it for the analysis today. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and see you tomorrow for the Q&A. Make sure to put all your questions for the Q&A in the comments below. See you tomorrow. Ciao wolves, bye-bye.